Hello everyone. Welcome to the GirlScript Ireland International Conference opening ceremony. I just want to run you through the whole conference schedule and what the conference is about. So, in this conference, we are trying to highlight the theme, the impact of COVID on innovations, and basically, what we are trying to achieve through this conference is trying to get people from everywhere in one time frame and trying to connect people and give them an overview of all the different industries which have been impacted with COVID. So I'm just going to give a brief overview of the team now. You've already seen some of the faces, but I already introduced myself, but I'm just going to do it again. I am the country head of GirlScript Ireland, and I've just completed my 4-year bachelor's in data science with computer science from UCD here in Ireland, and I've definitely learned a lot of different things throughout my journey. This has been something we started last year, and we've already done a couple of different events. We've done a gaming booster boot camp, which happened last year, and we did a coding boot camp as well. So we've done some small events and some big events, some speaker series, and you can check all of that out on our YouTube channel. It's GirlScript Ireland on YouTube, and you can see all those different events on YouTube. And we're really happy to have you here. And I'm just going to go ahead and introduce the rest of the team. So our event head is Arth Nangia. He's been really supportive to run the conference. He's been very proactive. He's actually made the slides for the conference as well. He's been there from the start. He was a mentor in the Gaming Booster program, and that is how he got involved in GirlScript Ireland, and he's been there until now. So kudos to Arth, and yeah, we're really grateful to have Arth in the team. Next up, we have Tanvi. Even Tanvi has been there from the start. She has been the secretary of GirlScript Ireland, but she's not only been the secretary, but she's also been very proactive in just helping out in all the events and also in the conference, arranging speakers and just getting the full picture together. So no matter what the role of people is, it's the teamwork that matters. So you could be the graphic designer, the secretary, or you could be the events head, but you will still need to make sure that the full picture is coming together. So that's what our teamwork is all about, right? So everybody has contributed really well. Tanvi is working for SAP at the moment in Ireland as well. And yeah, she has been a part of GirlScript Ireland from the start. It's almost been a year. So I'm just going to go ahead and introduce the next member. That's Meenakshi. She is the marketing lead. I think some of you have already met her. Some volunteers for the conference might be familiar with Meenakshi because she was leading the volunteering team. She's been managing our Instagram account and all our social media platforms to make sure that all the content is being reached out to you guys and you can actually know about the conference. So Meenakshi is a very important part of the team because marketing is really important, and I don't have any clue about marketing because I'm from a computer science background, but Meenakshi has really helped us with the marketing and making the content available to you guys. So kudos to Meenakshi. And the next one, we have Carol. Carol is also an extremely important part of the team because he is the graphics designer. He is the person who has designed all the content you see on Instagram. So all the designs have been done by Carol. I really like the way he does all the designs because he's just so fast with it. He's so consistent with the designs. It looks really neat and it looks so good. Yeah, if everybody could just mute themselves, that would be great. And yeah, so Carol is really good at that. And he has also been there from the start. It's almost been 1 year. So all these people have been very consistent in their work, and things have been able to progress because of them. Last but not least, we have Vikram. Vikram is the social media head. at GirlScript Ireland, and he has also been working with Meenakshi to basically promote content on LinkedIn and other social media platforms like Facebook. So Vikram and Meenakshi have been working hand in hand to promote the content and to give it to you guys. So yeah, they have been working on social media. Social media is so important to basically make your brand more accessible to people. So they've really worked hard to get our socials up and about. So we have one more person who is our web developer. So Priyanshi has actually worked really hard to get our website up and running. So we had Priyanshi and we had a few other people in the web development team earlier who designed the whole website for us and who actually put all the content online. And they have been so proactive with it, so fast with it, that it's really, I'm lucky to have such a team who has been able to be very fast in delivering the content. So if you tell them that, we want something to happen in a given time frame, they would do it and they would put effort in doing it. So Priyanshi is currently interning for Google, so all her hard work is definitely being paid off. So yeah, we don't have Priyanshi on the call right now, but she has definitely worked really hard for our website and for our overall content. She was also a mentor for Gaming Booster. So a lot of people have come from that Gaming Booster program because that was one of our very first initial big events. So and now I'm just going to go over the conference theme in a bit more detail. So basically, the theme of the conference is impact of COVID on innovations. But in this theme, we have several subtopics, such as the impact of COVID on the industry as a whole, networking, like how networking can improve in this remote environment. Like now that you're remote, you can actually get access to people who are outside of your home country, right? Because initially, when we're in one place, we don't really think of going outside of our comfort zone, going to online events. But now that it's online, you can connect to people from everywhere. So that is a perk of this whole apocalypse, the COVID apocalypse. Then we have technology, we have entrepreneurship, we have remote work, and we have mental wellness as well. So technology is obviously a main aspect because Coach is mainly technical, but with this conference, we wanted to explore the other areas as well. So that is why we have entrepreneurship. So what you would be doing, I will be going into this more detail, but entrepreneurship is more about how do you actually seize the opportunity. Now that everything is online, things are different. How do you seize that opportunity and how do you create solutions for people given the current circumstance? Then we have remote work. So obviously we all are working from home and we are slowly transitioning to the post lockdown, post COVID environment, but we would still be working remotely to a great extent. So, how can you maximize our productivity and work remotely in an efficient manner? Then we have mental wellness, which is extremely important because I realized this myself this year that sometimes you have to really take care of yourself because then if you don't, then things would show up in your life, which you would have to take care of, right? So you have to take care of yourself, and you can do some very small things to do that. So we have a few speakers lined up to help you in understanding how you can take care of yourself better. So let's go over the schedule and we'll discuss this in more detail now. So for the first day, we have the opening ceremony, which is happening now. Then in a few minutes' time, we would have a networking session by Aida Okabi, who is the senior account manager at Google. Then we have a networking workshop, which is by Rishabh Singh, and he's the founder of Talklance, but he's also a very great networker on LinkedIn. He has over 50,000 LinkedIn connections. So I'm really looking forward to what he would be talking about. Then we have Constantly Innovating, which is a talk by Aditya Arora, and he is the CEO of Fad Network. So it's great to know how people are actually bringing about their businesses and what kind of impact it had on their small business. Then we have a talk which is by Lauren Lawrence, and she is a technical trainer at Microsoft. She would be talking about women in IT. Basically, we already know that the ratio of women in IT to as compared to men is really low, and this comes with their own challenges. So she will be talking about that. And this is the profile of the speakers. You must have seen it on your brochure. So if you want to know more about the speakers, you can definitely go and connect with them on LinkedIn. This is a great opportunity to uh, make your network even more diverse. And also just reaching out to these speakers lets you know more about their experience, and just networking with them. I think it's a good idea to network. So definitely go and have a look at the diverse speaker backgrounds and read the brochure to know more about these speakers. In the second day, we have the impact of COVID on the drone industry, which is by Bobby Healy. This is going to be very interesting because as I was talking to Bobby, he told me that drone industry has actually been positively impacted by COVID. So I'm really, really looking forward to this one. And it is by the founder of, I mean, he's the founder for a drone company called Mana. So do look out for this one. It's going to be very interesting. Then we have change management during the pandemic, which is by Jasleen Pala. She's a corporate trainer, and she also gave a workshop for us last year, in which she basically went over self development and personal development, and she was having an interactive workshop of how we can show our work, how we can basically be our best version, how we can expand our network. So it was a really nice interactive session. So I expect this session to be interactive. So if you have any questions, she will be asking you some questions and you will be answering it. So it's going to be very interactive. And if you have any questions during the session, I forgot to say, but you can definitely put them in the chat. We can also discuss it just after, so feel free to ask anything. Then we have bridging the gap between the academia and the industry in India. So as all the other topics can be a little bit more international and can basically have an outlook globally, we also have some things which are focused towards India or Ireland. So we have bridging the gap between the academic industry as well as the corporate industry by Ashish Kumar. Even Ashish Kumar has a lot of experience, and he is currently the assistant manager at TCS. And I think it'll be good to even share your experiences with him because he has a very diverse background, a very diverse portfolio, and maybe he will be able to give you advice if you're feeling stuck in a particular area in your life. He could give you an advice of how you can transition to a different industry or how you can go about things in your career. So this could be very interesting for those people who feel like they want to figure it out, especially from the Indian perspective. Then we have a technical workshop by Imran Mehra. He is going to be giving a Power BI workshop. So those people who are into data visualization, those people who want to kind of get an idea of how analytics works, how visualization works, Power BI workshop would be probably a good one for you. Yeah, these are the profiles of the speakers who are going to be speaking on Sunday. So definitely have a look at that in the brochure. Then we have the third day, which is designing a user experience workshop. So basically, this is going to be a UX workshop, which is by Abhay Chopra, and he's the founder at Design Hat. So again, these are all student entrepreneurs who just follow their passion and they want to build something of their own. So it is good to know their story, but this is going to be a workshop. So anybody interested in UX, web development, they go hand in hand. So I guess definitely attend this one. It's going to be good. Then we have web development workshop, which is kind of giving you an idea, a very, very basic idea of web development. So we are trying to give you guys this option so that you guys can design something of your own, which will help you in the further days of the conference. And I'll highlight how. So these could really help you in the entrepreneurship side of things. As we go ahead, I'm going to tell you how, but this is a really nice area to explore. I think just for prototyping, exploring, like if you want to get your idea onto the web, I think it is good to have a little bit of web development experience. Then we have big data, too big to ignore. This is a talk by Nihal Jaiswal, and he is the CEO at Arbor Creations. He's going to be giving you a talk about the importance of big data and how basically we need to understand the use of big data and how it can be used in different applications in the enterprise point of view. Then we have a cloud computing workshop, which is by Lauren Lawrence. She's the same woman who's going to be giving the Women in IT workshop. So anybody interested, this is a very technical day. So anybody interested in UX, web development, big data, cloud computing, attend these sessions because they're giving you a more hands-on experience than just a theoretical speech. It's very hands-on. So I'd recommend that to anybody interested. These are the profiles of the speakers who are going to be speaking on that particular day. Then we have day 4, which is basically more remote work and recruitment based. So the first talk is more about recruitment in the EMEA region, basically Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So then we have Surya Patra, who's going to be giving a talk for recruitment in the EMEA region. So if you guys have any questions about how you can apply for jobs in this region, I think it is a good idea to attend this one. Then we have a skill development workshop by Mark Kumiski. He's a career and skills consultant at UCD. So this is more about just understanding how to polish your skills for interviews and how do you give interviews in a proper way. How do you polish your skills? What kind of skills are needed? This is more like interview development. Then we have remote work during the pandemic, and this is by Sean Siu. He is basically the global learning and development manager at Google, and I saw his profile on LinkedIn, and that is why I reached out to him for this talk. He has a diverse background, and he's going to be giving some little tips and tricks of how you can be a little bit more productive during this lockdown period or during the remote working environment. How can you make yourself more proactive? How can you reach out to opportunities just the way you would if you were working in a normal office environment? And I really believe that no matter what you're doing, if you're doing a normal job or even if you're doing an internship, it is always what you make out of it. You could be doing one job every single day, or you could actually be reaching out to people, talking to people who are senior to you or who are in different domains and learning about their work. So that can actually give you a flavor of where you want to go with your work. Do you want to be in the same department, or do you want to transition in your path? How do you want to go about your career path? So it's really important to talk to people even if you are working remotely. So Sean is going to talk more about that. And these are the diverse profiles which we have to look at that. And then I'm going to go over the last 2 days. Now we have the entrepreneurship side of things. So we are going to kick off the day by the New Age of Digitalization talk by Vaishnavi Sada. She's actually one of my schoolmates from high school, and she's going to be speaking about how digitalization has changed her life in terms of not only her life, everybody's life during this time, and how she views it in terms of like how the future is going to go about. And then we have entrepreneurship during the pandemic by Maurice Knightley. He is one of our professors in the UCD Innovation Academy, and he's one of my favorite professors because he is so agile in the way he conducts his session, conducts his story is so inspirational, and he's actually a true entrepreneur because of how he has overcome all the hurdles in his entrepreneurship journey, and he has a very inspiring journey. And I think it's going to be a very, very fun talk. Like, this is one of my favorite ones. And following that, we are giving you an opportunity to actually come up with your own solutions. So we are going to give you a design thinking challenge on that day. We are going to divide you in some teams, like, for example, groups of 3 or 4 people. in that you will get a chance to come up with your own solution of how things could be different after the pandemic. Like you could think about it, even you can start thinking about it now. Like what can happen, like what solutions can we come up with post pandemic to help people live a better life. We are going to give you the challenge details in the email later, but there's no harm thinking about what can happen in the future. So to solve the design thinking challenge, I think it's very important to have the UX and web development skills, because then you can actually create a prototype and show it. So that's something we have in mind for the entrepreneurship day. So I'm really looking forward to this one, because this is very hands-on. This is something in which you're working in teams, you're getting perspectives of people, and then we will also announce a winning team. So look forward to that one. Also look at Morris's and Vaishnavi's profile, and move on to the last day, which is basically the importance of purpose and self-development initially. So the whole day is about mental wellness, but we're trying to put self-development, mental wellness together. Self-development and the purpose talk is going to be by Bucky John. She is a mental health nurse, but she's also a holistic and health coach. She is really inspiring because she takes everything in a positive light. So she will tell you how to be more positive. How can you find our own purpose, our own niche in this whole big world? Like, how do we do things which are more relevant to us? Even though it might not sound relevant to other people, we still believe in that. We believe in that. How do we go forward with that? And how do we find happiness in what we are doing? She's going to be speaking about that. And then we have mental wellness, which is by Sylvia Dice. She's my dance fitness coach, and she's been really, she's a packet of energy. She is so energetic. When you meet her, when you meet her, you will know that she's so energetic, she's so full of life, and she has overcome so much in her life. She has just really overcome a lot in terms of her wellness and health journey. I'm not going to tell you her journey now, but when you look at her journey, when she speaks, you would know how inspiring she is. And she's going to also give a fitness dance workshop. And this is going to be it's up to you if you want to participate in this, but I would recommend this, because this is about actually just going in, and she's going to dance, like she's going to be dancing and you're going to copy her steps. But it's going to be it's going to be the cardio or the other one. So she's going to be very proactive with this one, and she would expect that everybody in the participant list is also dancing as she's dancing. So this is something different which we are doing, and I hope you like this. So we will wrap all the conference, like we will wrap all the events on the last day in the closing ceremony at 2 p.m. on 25th July. So I hope you enjoy whatever we have put together, because it is very diverse. There are a lot of people involved, and it's so different from a usual conference, because you're actually doing things, you're actually developing things, you're actually looking at a lot of different concepts, theories, as well as perspectives of people, because they're all different people, and some of them are entrepreneurs, but they're going to give you completely different things as opposed to other people, because they're completely different industries. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you have anything else you would like to add, please let me know, and please ask questions, because this is your time to ask as many questions as you can. We have 15 minutes until the next speaker, so go ahead, ask questions. Anybody wants to go ahead and ask any questions? If not, I think we have Aida already here. The next speaker is Aida Okabe. And maybe I would like her to unmute herself and introduce herself if she would like to.
I think she just left and she thought that we will be continuing at exact uh, like 2:30, 3:30 on her time.
Okay, so maybe we can just take a break, or if anybody wants to go ahead and introduce themselves or ask anything, just use this opportunity, because there's so much happening and we want to make the most of it for you guys. So just be just don't be shy to, if you want to say anything, just say it. Just go ahead, take the call. Did you guys join the Discord, or did you guys I hope the link is not lost in the chat.
Maybe I'll make this a little more interactive. So I think only 3 or 4 of us have introduced ourselves, right? So why not someone come forward and discuss what projects they are working on, so we'll know what domains they are working and how they are improving their skills.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Anyone? No? Fine, I'll tell my journey of web development, if that's fine.
Yeah.
So I started web development when the pandemic started. So it was May 2020. So before that, I knew only HTML and CSS. I didn't know anything else. So I started watching tutorials on YouTube and I pursued my interest in React. If you guys know what React is, excuse me. So then 1 year passed, I made a lot of projects because I didn't go with the traditional methodology of learning, which is watch tutorials, learn the concepts. I directly jumped into projects. I made a lot of projects. So I just shared my portfolio website. You can see the projects there. So I learned web development, and then in a time span of like 8 months, 7 to 8 months, I made around 12 to 13 projects, and out of which 5 of them were completely original. I made my own projects. And then, yeah, 1 year later, here I am with my own portfolio website, and people are like messaging me to hire me or something. So it was a good journey, and let's see what happens.
Thank you, Aman. I think we have Aida here, so I'd love if Aida could introduce herself. Thank you so much, Aida, for being here.
Thank you for having me. So yes, my name is Ida Ogabi. You've probably seen my biography on the brochure that has been sent out, but if not, I'm a senior account manager at Google in Ireland. Well, originally Ireland, but right now during COVID, I'm sitting in my hometown, Stockholm in Sweden. And I'm here to talk a little bit about networking and some learnings that I've had along my journey. Because we're a little bit ahead of time, would we like me to start with my session already?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Perfect then. Well, let me try to put my visuals on.
Can you just start the recording again before she starts the session?
So let me see. Unfortunately, coming from Google, I'm not too familiar with Zoom, but let me see if I can share my screen here.
There's a button just below in the tab list. There has to be a button called share screen, and I think you'd be able to share.
Let's see here. There we go. All right. Do people see my screen?
Yeah.
Perfect. I see some people nodding. That's great. I love also that we have the video on so that it's more interactive, because I hate when video and audio is not on and you try to get some feedback from the audience and it's completely silent. So hi everyone, I'm super excited to be here and thank you so much for having me. I do have a session that is an hour, but I do want this to be an interactive session. So I will tell you a little bit about my story. Actually, hang on. This